The hamburger may no longer be the king of fast casual because America has a new fast food obsession: chicken. These days, there are some newer, smaller players who are starting to cash in on the poultry-obsessed populace. These are the chicken chains poised to take over America. If you've ever flown back to the United States from nearly any Central American country, you may have noticed your plane smelling oddly like fried chicken. The reason for that is Pollo Campero, a Latin American favorite that is often the food people who've moved to the US ask to have delivered via visiting family members. No exaggeration, you'll find more bags of its citrus grilled chicken in overhead compartments on these flights than you will suitcases.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Though Pollo Campero has been operating a number of stores in Miami, Los Angeles, and other cities with large Central American populations, the brand is expanding into other areas around the country. QSR reports it recently hired Sam Wong, the man who oversaw exponential growth for Sonic, Popeyes, and others, to help bring Pollo Campero into new markets. If he ends up being successful, you may find a lot less chicken on your next flight home. Not that finding quick places to get wings has ever been a difficult chore in America, but Wingstop is setting out to give people a little more variety than just the standard spicy stuff. The Garland, Texas-based chain offers everything from mango habanero to Korean to Bayou barbecue wings. And if you're looking for atomically hot sauce or just the standard buffalo, Wingstop is happy to play the hits too. The method is working, as Wingstop saw sales up over 20% between 2019 and 2020, notching $1.46 billion in revenue across its 1,200-plus locations. Nation's Restaurant News named Wingstop among its 10 fastest-growing restaurants in the country, and QSR also recognized Wingstop's meteoric growth, citing its 107 new units in 2019 as a big reason why it landed on the magazine's list of 19 fastest-growing restaurants. Combining that kind of growth with a menu full of variety, it shouldn't surprise anyone if Wingstop is soon the country's biggest name in chicken wings. If you live in Florida or Georgia, you'd probably think Zaxby's was already a major player in the fried chicken game. But the chicken strip specialists don't have much presence outside the Southeast. And though the chain boasts over 900 locations, according to QSR, it still ranks 6th among chicken chains in terms of total locations. That's about to change though, as in November of 2020, Zaxby's announced it sold a large stake in its business to finance giant Goldman Sachs. While that doesn't mean you'll be seeing chicken strips on the New York Stock Exchange anytime soon, it does mean you might see it in places north of the Mason-Dixon line and further west of the Mississippi, in addition to opening more stores in Texas and Virginia, as they've said they want to make moves in the Midwest too. Those outside of the Lone Star State may never have heard of this fried chicken chain, and it's a shame that it hasn't grown farther faster because its recently introduced Big and Golden chicken sandwich is an unheralded entrant into the fast food chicken sandwich race. It's a full half-ounce bigger than any other sandwich on the market, on a house-baked roll with a whopping 5 pickles. But one great menu item does not make a chicken juggernaut, and it's the company's aggressive plans for growth that make it a probable national favorite. Golden Chick is planning some major expansions and lists an overwhelming number of addresses on its coming soon page. The industry publication also cited its Destination 30 plan, where the restaurant is aiming to open another 500 to 600 total stores. It also listed an average unit volume of $1.2 million, a figure it's already hit. Once a regional chicken chain relegated to curious road trippers through the American South, Raising Cane's, or just plain old Cane's, if you know what's what, is America's fastest growing chicken chain by sales growth according to Investopedia, who listed Raising Cane's as the lone chicken joint on its list of fastest growing restaurant chains, with sales up 22.5% to just over $1.47 billion between 2019 and 2020. At just over $6 for a 3-piece combo, that's a whole lot of chicken strips. Raising Cane's is raising attention from other publications too. The Louisiana-based chicken joint also landed itself on Nation's Restaurant News' 10 fastest growing restaurant chains, noting a 14% increase in Raising Cane's number of restaurants, up to 457 across the Southeast. According to Forbes, it's almost tripled its revenues, notching $3.6 million in revenue per unit in 2020. Unlike the glut of fried chicken and wing spots that dot this list, Chicken Salad Chix specializes in, you guessed it, chicken salad. Inside the homey, southern-feeling restaurants, you'll find more than a dozen types of chicken salad, which you can have scooped onto bowls or sandwiches. The brainchild of Stacy Brown and her late husband Kevin, this small restaurant opened its doors in Auburn, Alabama in 2008 and expanded to 180 locations across 17 states as of February 2021. Brown's expansion plans are ambitious too, opening 40 new locations in 2019, according to Chain Store Age, with plans to reach 400 by 2025. Chain Store Age also thought enough of Chicken Salad Chick to name it one of its breakout brands in 2020, and the restaurant plans to tackle the Midwest next. It'll be opening in Illinois, Ohio, and Missouri, and adding to its presence in Indiana. The memories Dan Leyva and his friends made at the Wings Over in Ithaca, New York during their days at Cornell were strong ones. And when the local franchise bit the dust, Leyva texted his friends, suggesting they take over and open it back up. Fast forward a few years, and his group now owns the entire brand, poised to take the concept well beyond its college town roots. With a breath of fresh life, the new owners gave Wings Over a makeover, updating the brand's look, ordering systems, website, and restaurant design in 2018. With that, the restaurant has expanded to 38 stores as of February 2021, with plans to open a few more locations by the end of the year. Wings Over is looking to branch out further into the Northeast and Midwest next, opening in markets that cater to more than just hungry college kids.
Bring me 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
You want chicken wings or chicken legs?
4 fried chickens and a Coke.
Though Waterbury, Connecticut's Wing It On doesn't boast a mind-boggling number of locations, co-founder and CEO Matt Insero says the slow expansion has been intentional. He explained his future plans in a 2020 press release that said in part, "In the last 18 months or so, we've been putting the infrastructure in place for growth, and I am 100% confident that the time is right. We're in a fantastic position to expand." Since then, the company has held true to Insero's predictions. Wing It On opened a handful of new locations that set opening timeframe records for sales, according to QSR. Ultimately, Wing It On is aiming to have 100 locations open or in development by 2024. It's planning to achieve this both by keeping locations small and the menu simple. Though you can find a variety of flavors from Mad Mojo to Chipotle Ranch, you'll only find chicken in the form of wings, strips, and sandwiches. Nashville hot chicken is becoming as much of a brand name as Buffalo, and this is especially evident at Fry the Coop, a Chicago chicken chain that's poised to be the nation's first big Nashville hot chicken spot. Though it's only got 4 locations in Chicagoland, Fry the Coop found ways to innovate during the COVID-19 pandemic that set it apart. By converting doorways to takeout windows and investing in tents for throngs of to-go customers, Fry the Coop was able to make it through shutdowns without laying off a single employee. They even saw a sales increase of 20%, according to Fast Casual. This impressive pivot has set Fry the Coop up for great future growth, so much so that QSR named it one of its 40 top food startups of 2021. Guthrie started in 1965 and pioneered the idea of a chicken strips only menu, delighting those who prefer ordering off the kids menu, while simultaneously appealing to fried chicken purists. The result was a 40-store regional chain with a cult following, and arguably some of the best chicken strips in the land. But according to a feature in Restaurant News, Guthrie's has plans to bring the original chicken strip-only experience to more markets. A new, smaller footprint restaurant and simple menu make it an attractive prospect for franchisees. And as a result, Guthrie's landed over a dozen multi-unit deals in 2020. CEO Joe Kelly Guthrie, son of the chain's founder, is banking on a massive expansion in the American appetite for chicken fingers to fuel the restaurant's growth. He told QSR, "I'm counting on chicken fingers being a $25 billion a year industry in the next 15 or 20 years. I believe you will see chicken finger restaurants on every corner in every town." Here's a stat that'll blow your mind. According to the NPD Market Research Group, quick service chains sold a whopping 2.5 billion breaded chicken sandwiches in 2020, a 9% increase from the year before. And it's into that arena that steps Chicken Max, and a boast that they're building a better chicken sandwich. The Chicken Max menu might be the most comprehensive of any chicken chain, where you'll find pulled, smoked chicken alongside chicken tenders and an impressive slate of gourmet chicken sandwiches. There's also smoked wings and roasted leg and breast quarters. It's a practical move that allows the restaurant to purchase whole chickens from suppliers, reducing the restaurant's costs. With a franchising vet at the helm, look for Chicken Max to be a major player soon. Does anyone doubt, even a little bit, that America is ready for its first nationwide biscuits and donut chain? Of course not. So that's why in May of 2018, when North Carolina-based Rise Southern Biscuits signed a franchising agreement in California, it was pretty much manifest destiny with carbs. And while that concept alone probably would have been enough to propel Rise to chain restaurant stardom, the fried chicken boom of the next couple of years led them to add Righteous Chicken to the fold. Rise has been on a franchise agreement tear, most recently inking a deal for 15 new spots in Tennessee. Their popularity stems from offering a full menu of chicken biscuit sandwiches, an item that's typically a one-off in other crispy chicken joints.
Wow! But is it worth it for that taste?
Popeyes really did the entire chicken industry a favor when it launched the Chicken Sandwich Wars, because it allowed places like Salt Lake City-based Super Chix, who've been cranking out chicken sandwiches for years with little acclaim, to finally hit the spotlight. What first started in Dallas in 2014 has now spread to a dozen locations in Texas, Alabama, Utah, Idaho, and Montana. The menu is long on fried chicken specialty sandwiches, with stuff like Nashville Hot, Korean barbecue, and Buffalo Ranch. But with the chicken sandwich explosion, Super Chix has cashed in, scoring 43 new agreements in under a year, if you're keeping score. They'll be opening their doors in a number of different states, and they're definitely worth keeping on the lookout for. This wing and sandwich shop that started inside a Fayetteville, Arkansas sushi joint has seen dramatic growth over the past few years, going from its 100th store in 2019 to aiming for 600 by 2025. The key ingredient in making that happen, other than chicken obviously, has been an investment from 10 Point Capital, who, according to QSR, is the same investment firm that brought Tropical Smoothie to the top of its category with nearly 800 locations. While Slim Chickens isn't quite to that point yet, its innovation during the COVID-19 pandemic has helped it maintain its growth plans without cutting the menu. Adjusting to the new restaurant landscape meant record overall sales in a number of Slim Chickens locations, as well as a vastly improved experience for customers who don't get out of their cars. With 20 new units opening in 2020 and the chain's first expansion in Florida, that figure of 600 stores may happen sooner than expected. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite restaurant chains are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.